Family, what up? We're back. We're about to talk about this Dallas thing. Now, we know we did a really deep dive on the Mo3 situation and it's come back around. I remember I had said that the Errol Spence thing and the car, that's actually where Charleston got it from. But I talked about that thing and how you could see his car behind it, allegedly. I feel like Errol Spence probably might have put some money up. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's just get to the video. I ain't gonna talk y'all heads off.
And this just goes to show you that Errol Spence was hanging around in the wrong crowd. And he should have got away from them dudes. Errol Spence ain't had no business running with no dirt bag like this. You know what I'm saying? He ain't cut like that. He ain't built like that. Errol Spence was raised with a family. He different. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't even been associated with that dude. But nonetheless, now, this is the whole thing about hanging out with weirdos like this. You know, this is why I say athletes and rappers do not mix. Y'all not supposed to hang out with each other. Y'all not supposed to be kicking it. Y'all not supposed to be none of that. Okay? You guys live two totally different lives.
I'm gonna tell you the thing about athletes and rappers. They want to be each other. The athletes want to rap. The rappers want to be athletes. It's a weird dynamic, and I think we might be the only people that do that. Well, I'm not gonna say we, but rappers and athletes. But in that picture, if you go back real quick and you look at Errol Spence and you look at Beezy, who looks the most toe up? Yeah. Anyway, let's go.
Styles. Now, in this case, I'm going to use Yella Beezy as an example of what happened to Errol Spence. Because it can be said that if he wasn't hanging out with Yella Beezy, his career wouldn't have been cut short like it is. And he wouldn't be on the bench right now. And most of you Errol Spence fans will be loving some Errol Spence fights right now. But instead, you getting this half-retired, half-interested fighter. And a lot of that is due to the accident. But let's go to that accident. What was Errol Spence doing? Errol Spence was out there drinking and, of course, hanging out with this fool. Okay? Now, the reason why this is so detrimental about who you hang out with, because it can be said that if he wasn't kicking it with Yella Beezy, Errol Spence wouldn't have been in no car accident. Yeah, we know that Errol Spence was drinking, but what people don't talk about is...
Now, if you watch the video, you'll see, I'm not going to say it's the same car that was on the highway when that happened to Mo, but it might have been. But allegedly, you'll see it just keep on going past. And my thing I always said, how this thing happened, you're going to stop and pull over to see if somebody needs help. Because you know they need help. It just ain't a situation you can just drive by. Period.
What caused Errol Spence to crash? And what caused Errol Spence to crash is because for a while now, and it's been known around Dallas, Mo3 been bullying Errol Spence. And on that night that he flipped his car, Mo3 was chasing Errol Spence. Matter of fact, you can see his car speed past the camera when you go look at the video. Okay? So when Errol Spence flipped his car, he was trying to get away from Mo3. It was bigger than just drinking.
Guess what I found across? Mo3 and Errol Spence. So Errol Spence under investigation for Mo3 death. Because you know Mo3 was the one who was chasing Errol Spence the night Errol Spence had the car in that white Lamborghini.
Okay? He was trying to escape from Mo3. And due to the fact that Yella Beezy and his boys been messing with Mo3 and some of his people and killed some of his partners. So Mo3 is like, okay, you gonna mess with mine, I'm gonna mess with yours. And Errol Spence was part of that. Okay? And all that is connected by just being linked to Yella Beezy. Okay? So it can't be said. If he wasn't hanging out with this fool, Errol Spence never would have been flying from no car to land face first on the concrete.
All right, now, I feel like bro was on some, you took one of mine, I'm gonna take one of yours. He moved solo. They got did Roy Lee or Bubba go first? Anyway, they got two of his. Come on, but I think that's how Mo3 really got the maneuver too, because he was moving solo. Ain't nobody had a drop on him, and it's easier to wiggle solo. Pause. Anyway, let's go.
You know what I'm saying? To need his teeth and all that stuff put back in and all that other stuff. That can't be said. As a matter of fact, it's a fact. If he wasn't hanging out with him, he never would have had no problems with Mo3. He never would have been drinking, trying to run from Mo3, and he never would have flipped his car. Therefore, all y'all people talk about Errol Spence's half retired in the car accident, took so much from him. Hanging out with this fool accelerated Errol Spence retirement. Now, that's just a fact. Okay, you can't get around that. You cannot get around it. If he wasn't hanging with him, he had no problems with Mo3. If he ain't had no problems with Mo3, then he don't end up trying to outrun Mo3, racing through the Dallas streets and flip this car and then catapult it up out the top. That never would have happened.
The killing has long been suspected to be the result of a rap feud. We reached out to Yella Beezy's legal team tonight and have not heard back. We're waiting to hear back on a bond amount for him as well. We'll bring you updates tomorrow on Daybreak.
But I'm glad Errol Spence wised up. I'm glad he moved away from downtown Dallas. And, he moved in the country or something like that. That's where his ass is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'd hate to see Errol Spence called in. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't see how he won't be. But I would hate to see Errol Spence called in.
Listen, y'all. I don't even know how this thing turned. Anyway, listen. This situation is barely scratching the surface, or we're barely scratching the surface of the situation. It's going to be a lot to come out. It's going to be a lot. And I feel like Kiwan is going to be the one to spew it. We haven't even heard from the other dude at all. But I don't think Beezy will talk. I think he'll take his lick, pause, and keep pushing. But Kiwan, he going to drop some dimes. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'm out. Peace.